Our focus today is on writing about visuals, descriptive and analytical content. To start with, let us focus on the picture and analyze what's happening around its composition. Perhaps you notice that the woman is staring at a distance while the two kids, possibly her kids, lean onto her, hiding their faces. Or perhaps you go on to describe the woman could be under a mental state of disconnection or emptiness, maybe unsure about what's about to happen to her and the kids after the Dust Bowl event. This is a black and white picture, so it's 19th century, prior to the mainstreaming of colored photography in the 1960s. A lot can be said descriptively and analytically about the picture, since semiotics, or the science of investigating meaning through visual works, predominantly exist in our heads as we apprehend images. It is like a hidden framework through which we understand the world further. Our lesson helps you understand visuals completely, not just superficially. Description is a text that describes what is observable and which aims to paint a picture through words. Like in this line from a song, "I see trees of green, red roses too." The focus is on sensory perception of sight, color, shape, and texture, and it ends where interpretation or emotional reaction begins. Another sample description is, the photograph shows a dimly lit street at dusk. The pavement is wet, reflecting the orange glow of streetlights. People with umbrellas hurry along the sidewalk. What happened here is the writer wrote about the scene, that it was atmospheric, and there's human action element present. The description goes from setting the place and lighting, giving the texture details or atmospheric details, and introducing the movement in the end. This could be a guideline for scenic descriptions, and if so, it answers the questions, what do I actually see? And furthermore, what details reveal the mood and who or what moves in the frame? But not forgetting that it is the photograph that we are describing, not the actual scene. Further tip to writing description is always use precise adjectives, spatial description, and specific nouns. For instance, the good old guitar. It describes the quality and age of the instrument. Two precise adjectives describing a precise noun, guitar. The foreground of the painting looks pale and disappearing. The spatial description is the foreground, contextualized as contained within a painting. At times, we need to write about the analytical content of a visual. And how do we do it? By focusing on how and why visual elements create the meaning that they do. If the objective is really to figure out how the picture works, then expect a thorough explanation on the underlying systems. The empty street and dim lighting evoke loneliness, suggesting the photographer's focus on isolation in urban life. The reflection of lights on the wet ground blurs boundaries, perhaps symbolizing uncertainty or transition. Notice that this passage goes beyond describing details. It probes into the lighting, which the writer figures out as evoking loneliness. An analytical statement of the photographer's manner or attitude in the moment is also present in the passage. He is focused on isolation in urban life. Now, what goes on in the mind of the photographer is not observable, but perceivable based on the context clue. It is right to use interpretive verbs like suggesting to imply that this is a cognitive reading of the visual clue. Some other interpretive verbs are implies, reveals, contrasts, represents, and emphasizes. In research, we use these interpretive verbs in interpreting results. For instance, the table reveals that half of the respondents visit art museums mainly to appreciate artworks, suggesting that genuine interest in art remains a strong motivation among visitors. So, analytical description through interpretation does not only apply to analysis of pictures, but it can also apply to data analysis in research. Remember, description creates clarity and imagery, while analysis adds depth and critical thinking. Effective expository writing uses both to inform and engage readers.